Everybody, and welcome to VisionCast. We have been broadcasting all week live from the Ontario Convention Center. We're here for Camp Meeting 2018. It's been a phenomenal week. I have the privilege of sitting in tonight with our host, Elder Pastor Rick Alanis.
Amen. Praise God. Thank you, Ezra. Well, tonight, in fact, as we're getting ready for the service, we have with us some international directors. We have Rob all the way from Liverpool. He's a home director there in Liverpool, in the UK. And then in Amsterdam, Holland, we have Silas. And he's been the director there in Amsterdam. It's good to have you guys with us tonight. First of all, let me just say this, that I'm so blessed and so excited that you guys made the opportunity, or took advantage of the opportunity and took the time to come and make this investment. Because I'll tell you why. Anytime we have international works, it's so vital that they take advantage of the international conventions or conferences, because this is the way that we all stay connected. This is where the vision is being cast, the vision is being communicated, and being so far, you know, this is where you're able to come and see Pastor Sonny, our founders, Sister Julie, and all the elders and all the different leadership in the ministry, and be able to really get a good injection, you know, of the vision. So I'm really happy you guys made it, made the investment. Thank you so much. Now, let me ask you this. First of all, let me talk with Rob real quick. And I know you're directors now, but I know that you've also went through the home yourself. And Rob, when you went to the home, when was it when you first went into the home? What year was it? And
so I went into the home 2007.
2007.
I graduated the home there in Manchester under Pastor Paul. He was my pastor.
Was Pastor Paul your director?
No, he was the pastor. Pastor Kevin Keenan, he was my director.
Okay.
Yeah. So then when I graduated the home, I wanted to go back in and help to run it. So I went in there. 2007.
And what was your experience when you first went into the home? You know, what was your experience that you had there?
Well, coming from Scotland, there was nothing like Victory Outreach there. And all I knew was that I was a drug addict and I needed help. I tried to come off drugs in prison. I tried methadone. I tried all sorts, crime, everything.
Wow.
And nothing could help me. And one day, my uncle told me about a church in Manchester, which is like 400 or 500 miles away. And I was like, you know what? I've tried everything, so let's try it. I went there, and Pastor Kevin, he led me. He said to me, "Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I wouldn't have travelled this distance." And he said to me, he led me to the Lord, and he laid hands on me. And that night I was eating, I was sleeping, and I was like, wow, it blew me away. And that's what's kept me for 12 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. All the way from Scotland, huh?
Yeah, Scotland.
And then we have Silas. Now, Silas, you also went to the home. What year was it when you first entered the home?
Well, I came in 2012 to the home. It was September. I still remember the day. I remember the hour. When I came to the home, I just shared it with one of the guys of the Chino home that it was the 26th of September. It was a Monday morning at 10 o'clock. I came to the church. I didn't know nothing about the home. I didn't know nothing about VO. I was in Amsterdam on the streets, but I only knew one thing. I need help. I had a lot of bad experience with Christians because I grew up in a foster family, so-called Christians, because there was drinking, there was beating, cheating, all the stuff you should not do. But one thing I always knew about Christianity, if they're real Christians, they're going to help you. So I came to the church, and when I entered the church, I broke instantly. I just came inside, and I couldn't stop crying anymore. I couldn't stop talking. I was totally broken, and I only knew one thing. I need to change, and I want to change. Whatever it's going to cost, whatever it's going to take, I will go for it. And I never left.
Now, you're originally from Frankfurt, Germany, correct?
Yes, sir.
You found yourself in Amsterdam, Holland, and got lost into the whole scene there in Amsterdam.
Well, I was lost before already.
Got real lost there. But then you entered the home there in 2012. Now, you know, when you went to that home, you know, now going through the process there, and what was it that, you know, you felt that really, you know, when did you feel that call to become a home director?
Well, there was quite funny. And the very first day when I came inside, we had a brother in the home. He never saw me before. And he saw me, he came straight to me, told me, Silas, one day you're going to be a home director.
Wow.
Those were the very first words he told me. So, wow, whatever.
That's crazy, man.
And Rob, what about yourself? When you went into the home, I'm sure you went there broken, God started doing the work in your life. When did you sense that call to be a home director?
I think I was in the home about 3 months at a time, and I just really felt God so powerful in my life. And when you guys came in, we were laying hands on them, and we were just seeing miracles, like miracles, proper miracles. And I knew there and then. And I went to Mighty Men of Valor. Can't remember what year it was, but God spoke to me and He says, "Look, this is your calling.
Wow.
This is your calling. Work with broken men." Yeah.
It was a Mighty Men of Valor.
Mighty Men of
here in the
Valor. Yeah,
States.
yeah.
That's all.
What's so crazy is just even, man, hearing you share your stories. It's like, it's moving. Even right now, I feel moved because I've heard so many stories like that. My uncle, my family member told me there's this church that helps people like you. And to hear you say you walked in and the presence of God just hit you so strong. To think, coming from California, to think that that's happening across the pond, that's happening in other countries, on the other side of the world, it's just incredible, man, to hear that. Really is.
And now, what Ezra was saying, it was so that in that home there was certain dynamics, the power of God, certain key things that you guys experienced in that home. What would you say were some of the most significant dynamics that really impacted you, that helped in that transformation and that call upon your life?
That's a great question.
Well, for me personally, it's, I grew up in a foster family, and I didn't have my father in my life, I didn't have my mother in my life and all that stuff. But my home director, Pastor Harry, the love he gave me, the unconditional love. I mean, he never saw me before. He didn't know who I am. He was just living there in the home, directing the home together with his wife, with his little son. And I came in, I could be a serial killer, whatever, but he didn't care. And he just embraced me, loved me. And that really made a big impact in my life. That was the thing I really thought, hey, that is the right place to be.
Powerful.
Yeah, I would say the trust and the love. Obviously the disciplines of prayer and fasting and grabbing a hold of God. I always remember one day, Sister Vicky, Pastor Paul's wife, she handed me her handbag and said, "Watch that." And I was like, wow, I never knew it. I was like, never knew trust like that. And that blew me away. And I felt the love, and I felt like part of a family. And then it was, yeah.
I have another question now. Now you guys been staying here in Chino with the home here, Joe Huerta, and then you guys are running homes. You've been to the home. What would you say? What do you guys see? Because you're there in Liverpool, you're here, there in Amsterdam, Holland, and now you're here in the States. What would you say is the difference? What do you see? Is there any differences or what that you see compared to the homes there in international and the homes here in the States?
We try to keep it the same, because why change something that doesn't work? So me personally, I stay close with, like, Pastor Ronnie. He phones me maybe just over once a month, and he checks up and he asks, "How are you getting on? Are you coming to this? Is this taking place?" We did a Holy Ghost Thursdays. Last year I went to the retreat, and it was good to connect. And anytime I come over, I always connect and I always ask questions and spend time. And I like to think that what's happening here is happening over there, and that's what works. We don't want to change nothing. So it's keeping in touch, and that's happening. So it's good.
Powerful, very important. What would you say that you?
Well, today we moved in the Chino home, and the very first thing that came up for me is the mentality of the people over there. The gratefulness they have, the servanthood they have. I mean, they never saw us before, but I feel already home. I feel like I'm there for forever already. And I think that is something for us to take with us. For me personally, to take with me back to Amsterdam, to teach these core values again, to come back to that. Because somehow on the journey, we lost that a little bit in the Netherlands. I can say that honestly for myself. But it's also one of the things I really received here being in this conference. And it's such a blessing for me to see where we came from, to see the history. Because we always, we hear about it, we see you guys on YouTube and all that stuff. But actually to be here and to be a part of that, and to take that with me over there, back to Amsterdam, back into the home, to let them see, hey, it's just the beginning here. It's not the home, it's not the end. It's just the beginning of something great, of something greater for our country, for our nation.
Yes.
So I'm really grateful to be here. I'm really grateful to spend some time in the home to get inspired, and also I'm going to go to the ranch too on Sunday to enlarge my capacity, to see the bigger picture.
Now, we've been, this week has been powerful. Opening night, Pastor Sonny sharing with us again the important values and principles of the home, you know, and then just each day and night to get better and better. Well, real powerful. Last night we had Nikki Cruz. You know, if it wasn't for Nikki, none of us probably would be here. As they were saying, you know, he reached Pastor Sonny then started this beautiful ministry, and here we are today, over 50 plus years later. Now, out of this conference and being here and hearing all the preaching and hearing Pastor Sonny as he's communicating the principles, the values, and what's important, what's absolutes and non-compromisable, what would you say that you guys are taking back, that you really impacted you, the significance of things that impacted you, that you're going to take back to the UK and take back to Holland? You know, what would you say, you know?
For me, I would say it's the severity of what we're doing. You know, this week I've seen that we're on the right track. Even as far as the first night with Pastor Sonny and some of the stuff that he was saying, like back in the days. But a pastor, he's involved in the home. He comes every day. He comes around us, and that's why it's been so effective. And even just to sit and hear what Pastor Sonny was saying, and think, you know what, we're doing a lot of this stuff. Obviously, there's areas that need tightening, but we're doing it. And the severity of what we're doing, you know.
Now, you're getting ready there in Liverpool to get another facility.
Yeah.
And right now you have a men's home, women's home.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about what your plan is, your goals of
so at the moment, me and my wife, we run the men and the women's homes. So what we've had to do is we've had to raise up staff, and so we're over 3 facilities. But we're looking at a 25-bedroom facility where we can get all the men and the women and all the staff together and really build strong. Last month we had Pastor Sonny and Sister Julie over, and they came and saw it, and it was special just to show them, you know.
Yeah.
So it was really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, like, what did you receive out of the conference here that's really made an impact that you need to take back to?
Wow, quite a lot. But one of the main things, for sure, that really broke me every single day when I saw Pastor Sonny standing there, Nikki Cruz standing there, the elders standing there, how determined they've been, never giving up on us,
right?
Never giving up on the vision. And a great man told me once, Silas, why are you satisfying with good when you can reach the best? Because God has something greater for us than we are doing right now in Amsterdam. And that is really the thing I take with me, that don't be satisfied with where you are, but go forward, looking forward to the goal and stretching out to it. Hold the vision with both hands and never let it go, never let it go. But Pastor Sonny never let it go. And he went through a lot of heavy things, but because of that, we can be here. Because of that, I can be here. Because of that, we are saved. And that is really one of the main things to take with me, to cast on the vision to the guys, to cast it on to not only to the home, take it with me into the church, to my disciples, to everything, the vision of Victory Outreach.
Would you guys say that this trip coming was life-changing for you?
For me, definitely. Yes, 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 yes.
Wow.
I talked with Pastor Willem, with a few guys. I came over here about it. For me, personally, that trip is basically the greatest thing after my salvation, my marriage that has happened to me. Because it really opened my eyes about the vision. Just like I say earlier, we hear about the vision, we see the vision in YouTube and all that stuff.
So Silas, what would you say if Europe was watching Holland? You know, when they sometimes, you know, about the money coming, investing, and come to a convention or come to a conference, and you know, what would you say now? You experiencing what you experienced. I know it costs, you know, you to come, but it was an investment, and you made the time to come.
Yes.
You know, and now you can see that your life has been changed. I can see it. What would you say to some out there in Holland? You know, when it's time for conference time, the women or men's convention, or even the victory homes. What would you tell them then?
Well, Europe, you can make it happen. I mean, I always believe if something is really important for you, and this vision, this mission we have is important for us, we can make it happen. I mean, I'm a home director. I don't have no income, but I got my passport, I put my trust in God, and God made it happen for me. He made a way where there was no way. And I came over here, and really it changed my life. Not only that, it's so nice to see a disciple from me just came this morning for the gang conference. He came all excited, fired up. And I know that conference is a life-changing experience. For me, definitely it is. And I know for many, many others who are in Europe who are doubting, should I not make the investment? I mean, we can buy a television for €1,000, but we cannot go to the conference. I mean.
That's right. Good job. Hey, Ezra, also we have here also Willem.
Yes.
You know, Willem Lemaine, and he's the overseer of the region there in Pastor Joffrey's region, and he also works with the homes there in India. I wanted to have him come and just hear a little bit about what's happening there in India.
He's ready to come on right now, Willem.
Yeah. Willem, thank you so much, Silas. God bless you. Thank you.
Great hearing from you, brother. Bless you.
Hey, Willem, how you doing?
Willem.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Now, Willem, you're the regional overseer of the homes there in
Netherlands.
The Netherlands, and but also you were telling me earlier about you also work with the homes there in India.
In India,
And
yeah.
why don't you share a little bit about that? I'm probably sure that there's probably a lot of people watching and didn't even know that we had even a church in India, Victory Outreach, but also we have Victory Homes. And tell us a little bit about what's happening there, and then about the homes there in India.
Amen. Well, right now, as we speak, we have 3 churches in India. We have the original church that Pastor Tony started in Chennai, and a disciple of him, Pastor Samson, he started the church in Bombay. And recently, one of his disciples, Pastor Raju, he started the ministry in Delhi. And as far for India, the need is extreme there. There's such an extreme need on the streets. People are dying. People are literally laying dead for days in the street, shooting up all kinds of stuff. And as an addict, as a dope fiend there in the streets of India, you have no rights at all. You have no rights to medical attention. You have no rights to have any facilities. So right now, Pastor Samson and Pastor Raju, both of them, they have their men's home up and running there in their own cities.
Wow. That's incredible.
It's a leap of faith for them, because there's a lot of oppression, there's a lot of persecution there in India. It's difficult to do it, but they just open up their own houses. It's humble beginnings. They have like between the 5 and the 10 guys in their home. But they are really true disciple makers, so they really are very intentional how they work with people, so the result that they get is very good. They really build soldiers there out of people that come from the street, drug addicts, people with criminal backgrounds. So yeah.
The pastors also go to the home as well?
They are in the home. They are running the homes themselves. Okay. Yeah, they are running the homes themselves. Yeah, they are products of the homes themselves, and they're truly men of great caliber, great character. I mean, they're in extreme poverty, pioneering a church in extreme weather conditions, extreme poverty conditions, but they just lead them like their own children, like their own sons. They really lead them to victory there. So
How many homes do we have now in India?
We have 2 homes right now in India, but right now their focus is on Punjab, which is a northern region just above Delhi, which is on the border with Pakistan, and it has there's a very huge need there. So right now we are gathering information about that region. We're gathering information about the need in those cities. We're gathering information about the leadership that's already been established there in India, and we're going to look for ways to open up a bigger home there, a larger facility where more people could get in from all different regions of India.
I don't know if there's anybody that's tuning in right now, watching, and hearing about India, but my God. I mean, we have some people from India here in the States, but most of them are here, are working class. They've come with a goal in mind, and we would, a lot of Americans, sometimes it's sad to say, are naive to the need around the world. You wouldn't think that there was that big of a need in India. What kind of drugs are they doing?
Yeah, well, it depends on the region, but heroin is very much available. And if they can find heroin, they have mixtures of substances. But it's almost always, it's injecting drugs.
Wow.
That's the most common form.
What is the mentality or perspective of the government towards the drug problem there and the drug addicts?
There's like a few projects are up and running. But it's very small in comparison to the need there. They actually just let them die there on the streets. India still has a very strong belief in karma, so they believe whatever happens to you, it's because of what you did in a former life.
Wow.
So what happens to you, you call it upon yourself. There's no compassion, and so it makes a very rough society, especially for drug addicts there.
Let me ask you also a question that I asked other directors. You've been here, you've been overseeing the home, you've been in the home and all that. And when did you first go into the home? What year was it when you first went into the home?
I came 2006 myself. I entered the home, 24 years old. Yeah.
Now, being here, because it's like we're celebrating, I was sharing 50 plus years, the ministry's evolved, the homes, and there's always a tendency, that as the ministry grows and begins to evolve, and then more homes are being planted, that sometimes they get away from, the original purposes and vision of the home. And this has been exciting to me. It's been, I think, 10 years since we've had a Victory Home, camp meeting or conference. And so, to me, it's exciting, really exciting, because it's a time where we're coming from all over the world, and God is bringing us right back to the basics, right back to the focus of the home, of what the purpose of the home was, And you've been here a week, you've been hearing all the preaching, you heard Pastor Sonny sharing on first night. What would you say has been some of the most significant things that has impacted you? Because you see where the homes are and where we are now. What do you feel that impacted you and that we want to take back to home, take back to the Netherlands, and that we need to make some changes or adjustments or whatever it is? You share with us.
Yeah. Well, I see very clearly that wave movement. I see that very clearly. I graduated the home in 2006 myself, and I count myself as one of the last results of the second wave. I was like one of the last, and we had a season that we just saw the homes diminishing. But now I truly sense there's a new uprising of the third wave, as we call it. As we see the momentum building up, what I saw this week is just an amazing presence of God in our midst, an amazing presence, a very strong focus on the core values of the home, the sense of family, the sense of leadership rising up, being intentional of preparing men and women for the future of the ministry, because we saw before also in the Netherlands during the second wave of revival during the 90s. There was one generation who made a difference for the whole future of the Netherlands. So almost all of the pastors pastoring right now, there are results of the second wave.
Wow, that's heavy.
And so I believe also now we're going to see a third generation rising up that's going to change the future of the ministry for the coming years.
Oh.
And I truly believe that. And so right now for us, I feel very challenged what's happening here. We spent some time at the Chino home. We spent the whole week with Pastor Ronnie de la Mancha. And for me, it's very challenging just to see what's happening here. But we want to catch on. We want to catch on. We don't want to stay behind as Holland. So we're going to work together with a team towards a model home, a place where all directors are trained in the same way. Because there is a good way of running a home. There should not be like 7 different kinds of homes. There should be one kind of home, and there should be one kind of home, which will be an example that all directors are trained in the same way, and we raise up a solid leadership that will train one successful generation that will change the future for the ministry also in Europe. Because we scratch the surface in Europe, as you know. We have so much ground to take there.
Yes.
So that's what I take home.
Now, I know that, maybe I could just mention it, we're praying right now for Frankfurt, Germany. There's a whole facility, that facility we've been looking at, I think it used to be a Christian youth camp. And back in the World War II, I think it was, that the American military owned it.
Oh.
Then they turned it over. They just gave it to a Christian organization.
Oh.
But it's been empty for a year. So it's amazing, you know, we've been praying for some type of home in Germany, and this facility came into play, came available, and we're praying for it right now. There's a banker there in Germany that wants to fund it, help us get it. You know, and I'm telling you, that's something when you're talking about training directors and training so that we can all be in line with the vision, same mentality, same concept, same philosophy. And look, something like that would be ideal for all of Europe. You know, it could be powerful. So we want to ask your prayers to help us pray. We need to get something going there. I love the vision. That's what needs to happen. You know, we need to come in a unified vision, a unified focus, purpose. And what about the UK?
Yeah.
You know, what's the vision there for the homes in the UK?
Just to build strong, build leaders. You know, that's go finish the home and get a job. That's not good enough. We want to see people raising up and standing in their callings and feeding the ministry. Already we've got 2 graduates who want to come to the UTC, so we're hoping to get them in there and just get in line, you know, and build strong.
Send them to the UTC.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody. That's what's up.
Okay. Great. All right.
Well, man, you guys have been great. Thank you for sharing a lot of that insight and your experience. And even just to get to know you more as our brothers, we appreciate the work that you're doing there. And it's been a great time here having you on VisionCast and all week right here at the camp meeting. And we're going to get ready also. We're switching gears, and we're going to be next week. We're getting ready for our God's Anointed Now Generation conference. We're having the gang convention. It's going to be right here in Ontario. You can catch us live right here, VisionCast. We'll be broadcasting live. And if you haven't done it yet, click the link, follow us, subscribe, stay connected. We love you guys, and we'll see you real soon. God bless you.